I'm going to be telling you guys the things that I do to make my beats hit, how to get placements, and how to put yourself out there as a music producer in 2026. All right, so first thing, and I honestly might even dig into my food because I just hit the gym. You need to be in the gym or be active. Your mind is not going to come up with new ideas unless you actually move your body and explore what this world has to offer, whether it be in the gym, whether it be going on a walk, whether it be going to the beach, whether it be going on a hike, whether it be at least just getting out of the house and going to a coffee shop. You need to expand your mind. You need to understand that anything that you hear and listen to is also a part of what you're outputting. Number 2 is eating healthy. If you are not providing your body with things that are going to be fueling you in the best way possible, how do you expect to make multiple beats a day or even have the motivation to put yourself out there in the first place, or even start by getting outside? So I know, I stopped off at Trader Joe's because I'm outside of the house, but I got myself a turkey and spinach wrap. I'm about to devour this while I'm giving you guys tips, so sorry if I'm talking with food in my mouth. Sorry, Mom. Dang, they didn't give me sauce with this. 33 grams protein right here. Number 3 and number 4, study music. This is all coming from my perspective of how I've learned to get into the music industry. So in my opinion, there's not a right or wrong way to do this. Listen to some of your favorite hit songs and understand the patterns that they consistently use. Find pockets. Clearly, every producer is trying to find new pockets in their drums, in their melodies, trying to find different swing on things. The way I found this is just by listening to music and really breaking it down. When you're listening to a song, break it down: 1 by the hi-hat, 2 by the perks, 3 by the snares, and 4 kick patterns, 808 patterns, anything that's going to give it that nice punch and good rhythm to where, it makes your body actually want to move. Because if you don't want to actually move at the end of the day, who would listen to your music? Because anytime I play a song, I'm not saying that these are my beats, I'm just saying in general, anytime I play a song, I'm always bobbing my head. I'm always vibing in the car. I start learning the lyrics. That's how it starts. My next big thing, networking. You need to put yourself out there. I don't care if the video is bad. I don't care if the video is super, super good or you're taking your time on it. It does not matter. In this world right now, our attention span is like this, literally rapid pace. You see yourself scrolling, you see everybody else scrolling. How are you going to stop somebody in the middle of scrolling to land on your video and continue to watch it? Post your first video, analyze how it could have been better, and apply that into your next video, and keep doing so forth until you start finding a nice little rhythm that's actually grabbing on social media, that's actually putting yourself out there, that's actually going to get somebody's attention. I'm gonna wait for this seagull to stop barking. Example for content: in my first 3 seconds of each video, I'll try to find the weirdest sound out of my beats and make sure that's the first thing that's played, because that's what's grabbing attention, the person who's actually listening. No, not many people are actually just scrolling with no audio unless they're literally bored at work and they don't want their boss to hear them or something. As a music producer, we're working with sounds, we're working with drums, we're working with literally everything. We're like a one-man band. So what's going to be the best way to stand out in each video? You could start off with the hi-hat pattern, you could start off with the snare, you could start off with the synth, you could start off with the bass, you could start off with literally anything that you want, but make sure it's engaging. Make sure that it's actually going to grab somebody's attention and be like, what the fuck is that sound like? Because that is what's going to actually stop them and continue to watch your video. That's why another reason why I added lyrics behind all my stuff, because it was a different approach. I was trying to show artists how they could possibly hop on the beat. Not saying they need to replicate it and sound exactly like Future or Lil Baby or Gunna, any of these beats that I do. It lets a framework build in the person's mindset. So think about that when you're starting to make content. Here are my tips for landing placements. If you are not sending out consistently, if you are not trying to get in touch with all of these people that you want to work with and you're not putting in the effort to do so, that is where you are not going to be making placements. Your loops that you're sending out or these beats that you're sending out, you should not be just spilling your whole entire catalog to somebody. When an artist tells me that they want a pack of beats or somebody wants like a pack of loops, I send no more than 8 in each email. The max amount of emails I will send is 2. 1, because it'll show that I'm actually trying to send something out to them and I do want them to hear it. But 2, to not bombard it. And even with this music, you know, when you make a beat, do you want to just make a beat and hope that it gets played so that you can make money? Or do you want someone to understand how you were feeling in the moment of making that? That's where music can hold longevity for years and years to come. When I sampled Smashing Pumpkins and used it for 5G, my dad, I had asked him to send me any type of rock song links that he thought would have the best riffs, the best guitars, because the guy grew up on rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just things like that where you've gotta think a little bit like, oh, well, this is something that I felt years ago when I first heard it, and I thought it was the coolest song ever. Again, a feeling. So I sampled it. I will do some tutorial videos on like how I sample, how I mix, how I make all my drums, how I find catchy patterns, how I do all these things. But I want to just start off with this right now, put my point of view out there for y'all to understand where I come from with this music stuff. I have no logic on any type of music theory. I have literally studied all of this just with my eyes and my ears. When it comes to placements, be consistent, send things out. If you're only sending out one email in hopes that all of those files get played and all of them hit, I would say about 80% of the time you're going to be wrong. Those files will get skimmed over, they'll be looked over, and sometimes they just won't hit for the person who they're trying to like lock in with. Be in the room with the artist. When I lived down in LA, was in a lot of sessions where I was either watching the room or I was actually inviting an artist into a session to where I would make beats for them and then we'd have an engineer record them. The reason why I say being in the room is smarter is because you're actually creating a vibe that this person's never going to forget ever again, debating on how the session goes, you know? Like maybe this person's just been bumping a sample that they absolutely love. It's an older song and they're just like, yo, like I really want to sample this, bro. Like let's sample it. And then you sample it and then they just end up loving what you sample. You have a higher percentage of actually landing that placement due to being in the room with that person. Y'all curated a vibe. Y'all like literally made a song together. That's just how it is. But not every single artist has the time to look at their phones. Not everybody has time to look at their emails. Like you could hope and pray and you can hope and pray, but I'm telling you, put in the hard work in order to succeed and catch these placements because they're not just gonna fall into your lap. This is the last thing I have to say in this video. Make sure that these beats are actually good. If you are not making high quality beats at the end of the day and all you're doing is just like, oh dude, I made 10 beats in a day, but they all sound like garbage. And then you have somebody who's like, oh, I made 3 beats today and they all sound absolutely incredible. Like they could all land a placement. I'm telling you, you gotta make sure your sound selection is key. When it comes to drums, sound selection is key. When it comes to melodies, sound selection is key. The whole entire beat, sound selection. Yes, the bounce does matter. Sounds are what people hear on a daily basis, as simple and stupid as it sounds. You need to understand the simplicity part of it with using only 3 to 4 sounds in a melody and a drum pattern without bombarding pockets for an artist to actually fill in the missing pockets to the song. Like imagine you actually just made a whole entire instrumental for an artist or a beat, right? And they're like, oh yeah, this is fire, send it to me. And then they try to actually like write something to it, but all you've done is fill up every single pocket in that beat to where the artist can't even find a flow on it because every pocket has been hit with an instrument. Artists will steer away from it. Like, trust me, I'm like the king of overdoing it with a beat. I will go absurd with it. I will literally add 8 synths, I'll add 10 drums, and the whole entire file ends up having like over 20 sounds or just around 20 sounds. Like that's something that I need to stop myself. But I've noticed even out of some of the placements that I've curated, the simplest beats are being grabbed. Do not overthink it. Do not think it needs, oh my God, it needs another synth on top of this synth. No, let these sounds stand out. Let the artist hear what sounds are being played. And the best way to maneuver around to make it sound like you're adding more, halftime it, you know? Cut it in half, stretch the audio, make it slow, have some layers, you know, make sure that this thing actually has like your simple bass line, your simple chords, a lead of some sort, whether it even be like a regular instrument like a flute, violin, or even just like a sine lead or any type of high pitch, high end kind of sound. Like you've got to think outside of the box with some of this stuff, and that's where I think most people get confused with this, including myself. I'm not perfect. I'm not where I want to be, but again, and this is just from what I've noticed over the years. Thank you guys so much. We're super close to hitting 1K on YouTube, and y'all are supporting me so much on Instagram and TikTok, so I just want to say appreciate y'all so much. I'm in the process of making another drum kit. I think I'm going to be adding some loops in there, kind of like how I did my Brabs Essentials kit. Also revamping my beat store right now. It's been taking a little bit of time because I'm not really sure what direction I want to go with it, but I haven't let my sound be necessarily the most accessible in this last year and a half. Things are changing. Everything's a trial and error, and that's actually my very last thing. Do not be afraid to fail. If that person doesn't like the beat, that's fine. You learn from that. Move forward, make another beat, study what didn't work back then to make it better now, and move forward. Just keep moving forward. You need to. It's literally like Finding Nemo, where Dory says, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. You need to just keep swimming. Like, you shouldn't not stop whatever it is that you're trying to do with the rest of your life. Be consistent at it. Watch your growth. Have other people see your growth, because at the end of the day, you need to gain trust over the internet. How are you expecting to gain trust over the internet if you can't even have a conversation with these people that are following you and doing all these things? That's something that I've lacked for a very long time. I don't really talk to cameras. I don't really have conversations like these, but I'm starting to. This is my trial and error. Number 1, pretty much. Again, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna eat the rest of this wrap. Might even go skimboard or something, but thank you guys for everything. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace.